it's very difficult sometimes for couples who are unable to conceive a child biologically to come to the decision that adoption is a way to build a family. And a lot of couples will say, am I going to be able to love this child? Well, any couple that you talk to that has built a family through adoption, the minute they see that baby, they wondered, why was I so foolish to ask that?
Well, after years of infertility, 3 in vitro fertilizations, several miscarriages, my husband and I thought maybe we would look into the adoption option. And my only regret with that is I didn't do it sooner. But you have to go through all the emotions, I think, of that I want to have my own child, and, you want to do what you can to make that happen. And when we finally came to the idea that we would look into adoption, to me, it was just a reminder that God is in control, and His answer for you is always better than what you think it should have been. Because I went from thinking I was devastated to not be able to get pregnant and have my own child, to once I laid eyes on my son, that all that just went out the window, because it was no longer important. What was important was that I was a mother. And so that was my journey, from going from just sheer devastation and to just exhilaration, and just the whole beauty of being a parent. It really doesn't matter how you get there. It's just that you're there. Birth is a miracle, but this is also a miracle. I look at my 2 children, and I look at them, and of all the places they could be, to me, that's the miracle that they're with us.
Adoption is the process of adoption, the process of making an adoption plan, is very much for a birth mom like the process of infertility treatments for an adoptive couple. They have a lot in common. They have ridden the same roller coaster of emotion. They know grief. They know disappointment. And the miracle of it is when a couple who has known the grief of infertility comes in contact with and is blessed with the child of a woman who's known the grief of poverty or the lack of ability at the time to parent a child. So it's kind of a miraculous meeting of 2 people from different worlds who need each other.
It seems like adoption doesn't carry the stigma it might have 20, 30, 40 years ago. And what I've been surprised about is just talking to people I come in contact with, just kind of general discussion I have to adoptive daughters. It seems like the majority of the time they know somebody or one of their relatives is connected to the adoptive process somehow. So it's been, adoption is much more prevalent, it seems like, than I ever would have imagined.
The defining moment was when they placed Christina in our arms, and you just know that this baby was meant for you, and it's just divine intervention that this is how your family is going to be made, with this baby that you've just held for the first time, that was born just hours before.